Hey, you fellow YouTubers out there. My next project is going to be this Ruger 1022 project. Now, as it stands right now, it's a pretty sweet little rifle. Somebody's already put some rails on it, a red dot, and all that, which is great, and I'm fully appreciative of, and I cannot wait to actually tear into it, though. I know, as odd as it may seem, because I got this instead. This is the ArchAngel kit, and it's going to give it the look and the feel, or at least somewhat of the look of an AR-15. I actually own AR-15s, but I really don't like the stock feel on this specific Ruger that I've got, and I'm hoping that this will actually do better. So I'm going to try to do a step-by-step video on this. You know, maybe like an unpackaging, so on and so forth. I don't know. Or maybe one where I strip it down and then just kind of go from there. It's going to be a long video series probably. So wish me best of luck, man. Thanks. Cheers. Okay, again, this is DIY Guy XD on the Ruger 1022 ArchAngel project. Basically, today I'm going to be taking a look at taking this thing down. And I'll be honest with you guys, like I always am. This is the first time I've ever actually done any type of, I don't even know if you could call it gunsmithing, but any type of smithing on a rifle or something like. Well, let me back up. I've built AR-15s, which are rifles, and that's great and everything. But this is the first time I've messed with something that's not an AR, that is a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, so to speak. Now, the AR projects I've done with some guidance. So, like I said before, I'm not an expert here, guys, but I'm trying to kind of fumble along and learn, and hopefully as I learn, you guys can learn as well too. So, I'm going to reposition the camera here a little bit, and I'm going to try to disassemble this thing and talk to you guys while I do it. One of the main things to keep in mind is to have a variety of tools around. They say that you really need to have a bunch of bits and stuff from Brownells or someplace like that, which, you know, I totally agree. You know, you should, if you have the $90 to spend on just bits. But when I've got a garage full of all kinds of different bits that I can pull from, I'm not going to go buy those. And like I said before, you can go, this little screwdriver set, you can go up to pawn shop or something and buy a big bunch of screwdrivers and use your bench grinder and, you know, whatever, and make some stuff that actually fits. But anyway, nevertheless to say, my Allen keys are kind of janky. They're kind of old and crappy. So, you know, I mean, it's whatever. So, without further ado, I guess I really don't need gloves for this. I'm going to start taking this thing off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking this flash hider off. Really, it's, I guess, a compensator. So what I'm going to try to do, since I don't have my vise in here with me right at the second, and it really wouldn't do me a lot of good because I'm only going to need it for just a short amount of time, I'm going to try to find the right one that will fit in here. And, of course, you know, that's going to be a job. Since I did not put this rifle together, this kit that they put on it or whatever they've done to it, I didn't do that. I bought it with all this on here with the intention of just having a good shooter, but that didn't work out. So, well, it worked out in the sense of that I want a different project. So, I gotta find the right one for this, and it looks like I'm just about there. You don't want to really mess up your rifling, haha, so to speak, your machining in these things. So I'm not finding much on these, which I'm really shocked and surprised about. I guess I really shouldn't be, considering what they are. So I'll head to the Home Depot box, and we'll see if we can find one in there. And I found one that sort of fits, but really doesn't. I may end up going with that, because I don't plan on putting this compensator back on anything. Not really into the hot and heavy on those for really any tool. That's going to fall right on over. Boy, you think I'd never used tools before in my life. Well, I guess I'm going to go with that one. It's not my best practice to use something that doesn't fit all that well, and I probably will go out tonight. If not tonight, maybe sometime next week, because I'm in grad school right now, guys, and that's one of the reasons why my videos are so far and few between, but yet you might get 4 or 5 of them at one time, because, you know, it just depends on my course load. So, without further ado, let's continue our work on this. And basically, I mean, it looks like whoever did this, you know, they probably had some free time. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's a part. Definitely going to keep that, because you just never know. It looks like this rifle is pretty heavily used, and the guy that I bought it from, I didn't do a real good inspection because, well, to be honest with you, it was family I bought it from, and I expected it to be in really good shape, and it looks like it's been used from here to hell and back. If you look at the bottom here, it's all scratched all to pieces. I don't understand that, but you know, that goes to show you that your family can screw you too. So we're going to start taking off some of these different rails, which, like I said, I'm going to keep these parts, but I'm going to take off the railing, or I'm going to take off the rail system and use it. And of course, I think this one's a tad too big, which means that this is probably metric. And I don't know if I have any metric ones, which that means I'll have to spend some money on some tools. Which is not a bad thing. I'll, you know, enjoy going and getting tools. It just seems like every single one of these I tried, it's not the right one. Okay. I actually went out specifically to the garage to get something for this. And that comes so close to fitting, it's crazy. That's an old tried and true trick there. Okay, looks like whoever put these in really cranked them down really hard. And so I'm going to go back to my handy dandy little kit here and see what this has got in it. And that's not big enough, not nearly big enough. So let's put this up here. And I believe that this one here might actually do the trick. It's kind of embarrassing in a way. I should have better hex keys and all that stuff. I just don't. I don't know why. You know, they say, oh, you really need those for these builds. And I know I've got them somewhere. I just don't know where I put the fucking things at. And that's, pardon my language. It's irritating. So, found one. But it's not exactly what I want. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. You know, it's just one of those things. Need to relax. It's just I rarely get time to work on these things. There we go. So what I'm going to do on this, and it's like when I work on cars, you know, you don't take all the pressure off of one side. You know, you just kind of go back and forth on it. So I'm going to go back and forth, and it looks like it's pretty loose at this point. So I'm getting them through. Now that side's not loose. Thought it was looser than it was. There we go. These are starting to come out. This is actually a pretty little ingenious little setup that this guy's put together. Family member, actually. I'm sure this kit can be bought pretty cheap online, you know, but whatever. He seemed to be pretty invested in it. He was selling off all his guns in order to buy a truck or something like that. I forget what it was. I don't really know specifically, but it looks like it holds this bottom rail piece on. So I'm going to take these out and make sure that those get put where they need to be put. And it'd be great if I had a magnetic thing right about now, which I don't. And I may stop this video just because I'm starting to get a little bit irritated, and that's not when you should be working on stuff, you know. Let's see here. So I'm going to put these back in here. And it looks like a lot of the stuff was just held on with pressure onto the barrel, which is fine. I mean, it made it look really cool and stuff, but it didn't give it that ArchAngel look. And I really think that when I go to show this off to the family member that this was brokered through, because I didn't exactly get it from the one specific family member. This was brokered. Now, of course, we've got the red dot here, and it looks like he had promised that it was zeroed in and all that. I call bullshit. I don't think it was. I've not really ever shot this though, so I can't speak to that. And of course, I go and I drop this part of it. But there we go. Okay, so that's the red dot there, and I know it's nothing special and so on and so forth. But you know what? It came with it, and I'll probably use it again because this is just for 22. It's not like it's big serious rifle or anything. And even on some of my quote-unquote serious rifles, I really don't use very expensive optics because honestly, I can't afford to spend $2,000 on a rifle that I spent $1,500 on. You know, it just doesn't make good sense for me to do that. Now, there's a series of, it looks to me like flatheads, so I'm gonna start taking those off. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to start peeling these guys off because it looks like they just pop off, which is cool. I might even be able to sell this stuff online, or if I get another 1022 from somebody, I might actually use their stuff. But let's see how this is held on. It looks like it's the whole system is one. Okay, all right, that's actually a good thing. So we go back. Let me pause this video a second. Okay guys, this is the second part of the video. I'm taking down the Ruger 1022. The reason why I'm taking it down, and I don't know why the dog decided it was going to start barking, is because I want to put an ArchAngel kit on it, which if you've been following the video series, you'll see that. And it looks like this one straight out of the thing actually works, which is hard to believe. So it looks to me like this rail system that this gentleman had on here went through here. I'm just, like I said, I don't really know specifically what I'm doing with this thing. I'm just going through here because, you know, I can sort of kind of figure it out as I go. And these, an important thing, I don't know if you can see this, but getting your screwdriver in here and getting that to fit, that's kind of important. Okay, you see that whole system just lift off. Now that's going to go in a box somewhere. And there's some oil under here, which good old shop towel here. Take care of that. And we can start to see what this rifle is made of. And it looks like there's some backup iron sights. I'm not that real familiar with the Ruger 1022. I've not really had the platform before. So you'll have to forgive me on that. But this looks like it's pretty well taken down past the, well, I guess I missed one. Ha. Looks like it's pretty much taken down past the other stuff. So when I look at this thing, and for some reason it's just a lot more comfortable to use. You know, if I didn't already have the ArchAngel kit, I wouldn't even use it at this point. So it looks like this thing's taken down, which is exciting. And look at how that's bit into that. I don't know if you can see that, but jeez, I mean the stock on this thing is just destroyed. I guess it's what you do when you are vain about this crap. So, from my experience with other guns, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of maneuvering on this one and see what I can come up with. So I don't want to get my work table too full here because I really need to start getting the parts out of the way. But I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see if I can find the one that's gonna fit that. You see how loose that is in there? That's just not gonna do. So there's got to be one that's a little bit fatter. I've got that will actually fit in there and work a little bit better. Let's try this long guy out. Yep, that's pretty much on the money. But I'll see if there's anything else. No. So I'm gonna go with him because he's so close on it. Put that straight in there and apply just some pressure. Pull that out. Honestly, I've never taken down a Ruger 1022, so I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, I mean, I'm always honest with you guys. I'm sure there's a trick to it, and I'm gonna miss it, but maybe it's just that simple. I don't know. So it looks like so far I've got the stock to kind of pop up. It looks like there may be another screw, and I'm just gonna look for that while I'm finagling it around. Maybe it just pops up and back. Looks to me. I see there's like there's like a hidden button here somewhere. Let's see. I should probably get online and look up some instructions on this thing. I really should, you know? That might be a big help. Let's see. The thing that's stopping this thing from coming up is a safety. And maybe that whole group has to come out in order for this thing to come up. Nope. Ha! Well, I'll be damned. It couldn't have been that easy. Was it that easy? Alright, I'm going off camera for just a second, so I'm going to pause you guys. Alright guys, I'm back again, or guys and gals, because I know I'm not that sexist. I know there's some women that watches this. Okay, it looks like there's some sort of takedown pin that goes through here. I'm going to kind of keep tabs on that. So this is what we've got. This is what I ended up with. And that looks like that one here. It's important to kind of keep these parts together if you can. So, wow. That's pretty unbelievable, isn't it? Push it forward, of course. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking there. I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. If you're watching it, you know, you're probably learning along with me here. So, you know, mistakes are going to be made. That is the name of the game. So we've seen, you know, how you can do this, and now this thing's taken down. I mean, it's down to where it needs to be cleaned out and everything else, but this thing's a lot more worn than what I thought it was going to be. I really have a strong belief that this thing was probably used when my family member bought it, and which means that he used the crap out of it too. And, you know, which is fine, you know, it doesn't hurt anybody, but, I don't know, it just kind of seems weird. Family members are my family's pretty decent about, you know, helping out and all that. Well, I guess that's supposed to be locked up like that, because it's, oh, the whole fire group's gonna come out now. Okay, so that's like, alright, it comes up, I guess, you know. You just saw me do something really stupid there. Pins. Would make sense, wouldn't it? There we go. And I'll bet you money that he slides right through there. Yep. And of course, that's what's going to make that go back. And fire. But of course we can't fire. Now, I don't know. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign off for right now because frankly, it's getting hot in here, and it's time to go on to some other things I've got to get done today. So I appreciate you guys watching so far. What the hell? I guess maybe it goes in from the other side. It goes in the back. I remember now. So appreciate you guys following me along so this far. It looks like the old rifle's taken down. Putting this kit together is probably going to be a cinch, but I'm going to go ahead and document every single freaking phase of it so you guys can see, because that's just how cool I am. So, enjoy yourselves. I'll be back to this as soon as I can. I've got to go read some stuff on conflict management. I got a conflict manager right there. Have a good one, guys. Alright, folks, I'm back here for the ArchAngel build. I kind of went one step ahead without you. Sorry about that, but I just didn't think you want to see me really go into a big bunch of stuff like this. Basically what I did, so I actually get this camera to actually go where I want it to go. I'm switching between 2 or 3 different types here, so just bear with me. Alright, here's our ArchAngel kit. This is the A556R Fitz Ruger 1022. I've got a bull barrel for this thing, but I like this part so much, I think I'm going to go ahead and use it as opposed to the bull barrel, even though the bull barrel would fill all this area in here up. So anyway, let's get to it. So what I've done so far is I removed the barrel, and I removed the rear dovetailed sight and the front one. This thing was in a little bit worse shape than what I had first thought it was when it was sold to me. I didn't really check it out because it was more of a family member that sold it to me than anything else. Of course, I guess you should check out family member stuff the most. But I digress. You know, the barrel's a little bit more beat up than I'd like, but I could always order a new one. But again, this is just a 22 project, so I'm not really all that worried about it. Here's what holds the front barrel on, and I'll show you that stuff in a little bit. Basically, I've got a whole bunch of different little stuff going on here, and this is like basically the fire control group and all that. And if I can actually get stuff to go back in place, I'll be a lot happier of a camper. So I don't like the idea of any of this being out of place. Bear with me, guys. I just putting the spring back in place of the trigger. So you see, and of course it's kind of like the AR in the way that you don't let this beat the hell out of this part up here when you pull the trigger. So I'm doing light like that. That was a spring right there for it. So that's back in place. This little detent and spring and stuff, firing pin group and all that crap's gonna go back in here. Release is what I should say. Okay, here's the one that we got to remove. This pin here, I've already kind of removed it, and really wasn't something I intended to specifically do, but it's just the way it worked out. So you take this pin out, and this is the mag release capturing portion of it, and that's fine. But there's a special one that you got to use in the ArchAngel kit, which I'm getting ready to open up now. Only thing, kids, early in the morning, before you start hammering on stuff, make sure you got the right hammers in hand. Okay, this is one of the that's the top piece for the ArchAngel kit. And this is basically what I'm going to be pulling up here. This is going to be the new stock. Okay? I'm going to set this up to the side, just like that. That's going to be the stock right there. It's pretty exciting, actually. Like the fact that this is adjustable. Look at that. Anyway, okay, so excitement aside, I guess we're getting some of the pieces out here. So here's the bayonet. I thought that this was going to be a metal knife. It's plastic, so whatever. Warning: failure to follow instructions will void warranty. No crap. Okay, so there goes that. And what I'm looking for at this point in my kit is a parts kit. And that's going to be right in here in the back. I'm just kind of going through all this stuff, guys. This is not really anything that you need to see. This is just unpackaging of all the materials. So these are some of my original pins. That one goes here. This also goes with the fire and control group. And forgive my terminology a little bit here. I don't know a ton of it, this use. So, okay, this is going to be the new mag release. This is the old one. Set those side by side. These are going to be used in the installation of this piece here. And you get all these little screws for the top. So there's not a lot to it. So let's get cracking. Basically, okay, that's back in there the way I want it to be. Okay, good. You never can be too careful with this stuff. Sometimes it doesn't go back the way you want it to go back. So I'm going to take this barrel. I can actually get this thing to do what I want it to do. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Well, before we put the barrel on, I think I'm going to put this bottom kit back together here, which won't take that long. I'll just go ahead and do it. Doesn't matter. Oh. Huh. Well, I look like the right smart guy on this one. Let me put this back together and I'll be right back. This is nothing you need to see. This is just the normal 22 stuff for this rifle. Alright folks, back again. We're on the Ruger project, of course. Now, here's the dealio. This is the old magazine release. This is the new one installed. It goes right in there. It's as simple as that. It just drops straight in. Just drops straight in. So there's a little pin that you have to take, and it has to go through here. Now, of course, it's going to take a little bit of wiggling, but if I can find out exactly where my little hole's at, and it may even take a little bit of, there we go. It just takes a little bit of wiggling. I had to pull up on it slightly. It's still not 100% all the way through, so I'm going to try to see if that'll, no. Keep wiggling on it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's almost got it right there. Almost got it right there. There we go. Alright. This little piece right here is also part of it. So we're going to stick that in there and hopefully this time go straight on through. Now look, you can function check it by doing this. See? And that goes in, that little detent thing goes in right there. And that's part of it too. That's one of the things I had to line up was this thing right here. But the pin lines up pretty easily in there. This thing has been really used. I know I've said that a couple times, but I mean the pins are just basically falling out of it, which I don't understand. I was told that this thing was not really that old and all that. I guess I should have really checked, but you know, you trust family. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to the side. That's that part. So, from my understanding, basically this whole group, just if you can keep it together, see how that just falls out? Shouldn't be doing that. Goes in, and this is more like an AR type of deal, which is pretty neat. I mean, as far as it's set up, I mean, it looks like it's got a buffer tube on it and all that other stuff. So, it looks like that the safety is going to be. Now, look, this is kind of an important step here. I'm going to try to demonstrate this as best as I can. Push the okay, let's see, make sure everything's in place. For some reason, my charging here does not want to go back. Well, that's strange. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. So, move the charging handle back, which mine did not want to move back for some reason. I have no idea what it was, but it just did. So these pins are falling out. That's whatever. They're loose. That's fine. They're not going to go anywhere once I get everything all set up. Take your safety, okay, and put it kind of halfway in between. All right? That's what I've been told, at least. And we're going to put this thing on. And basically, it should just slide straight up in there. And of course, should and does are going to be two different things, and that's why I'm doing this. So we can kind of learn, and so you can learn, and I can help you guys out. See, my safety didn't stay in between. Now, here we go. I wish I could show you a better close-up. Let me see if I can get up and actually zoom in the camera. Yeah, because this is way off. I really apologize, guys. Let me get this thing turned over here. Bear with me just a second. Okay, there we go. Now let's see what the zoom looks like on this thing. Alright, it's telling me that if I put this in between here and here, you guys are going to get a better look. Okay. I'm going to take the camera's word for that. And basically, you're just going to kind of push this part in there until it actually goes, which is easier said than done, of course. let's pull it up and see what's going on. Most people don't have this much trouble. I'm new to all this, so you guys are going to have to forgive me. I've never actually... I've got 22 rifles, but this is my first Ruger 1022, which I know sounds crazy because, you know, that's kind of like the de facto standard for everybody, but it's my first one that I've ever owned. So, and there we go. Okay, now did you hear that? That was a nice freaking positive click. And what happened is this right here, I set that in between. So, we're going to bring this thing up, and you're going to get the first look at it. That's how it's going to look so far. It says ArchAngel 556 on the side. Pull charging unit back. Bam! Boom. Alright, so now I'm going to bet that this, I'm not reading the instructions. You see the instructions, they're kind of set over to the side here. I'm going to get up again, make sure that you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and zoom back out. The instructions are kind of over to the side here, which is kind of funny. I think I can figure this out. I really do. I've had one guy tell me that the biggest trick is putting the... The biggest trick is getting the magazine, not the magazine, but the safety button in the middle, which we just did. So I'm going to take this... I mean, I'll probably read the instructions for some of it, but for most of it, I'm not even going to worry about it. This one fits so well in here, I'm going to let it lead me down. Let's pull it out, though. Let's make sure that we're going to be able to, it's actually going to fit. Yeah, this is where this goes. Because this is the takedown on the regular stock. This one also fits very well in there, very snugly. But for some reason, this wants to go in there and stop. So... let's pull this back out and see what the heck's going on. And I tell you, I may end up using my little ratcheting screwdriver because it seems to work better for this kind of stuff. So I'm going to pull this one off of here. We're going to find one that fits. I think this larger one fits. Yeah, it does. See? That's just nice. That's just nice. And see, it gets up to a certain point and just stops. So that tells me I'm doing something wrong. I mean, if it's just going to stop right there, then I've probably done something wrong. Which I don't like, but that's whatever. You can't always do it right. So, well, you can, but, you know, we're going to try our best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little magnifying glass thing here and pop open the top on it, and I'm going to take a look. Okay. I was just able to lift this up a little bit. And that bothers me too, because that should not have lifted up like that so easily. I guess just because it's not down all the way yet. There we go. And as I look through this thing with my magnifying glass, I see a straight shot down. This should be a no-brainer. So let's go back here. Boy, I need to get better setup for up here. So it looks like that's just slightly offset, and that's the problem. So I'm gonna try that. I just readjusted the whole thing, so we're gonna see how this works now. Much better. See, all I had to do is push on the stock a little bit, and that took care of the problem. Now, as I've explained to you guys before, you know, you put enough stink on it or pressure on it, it's good. But don't put too much on it because this is polymer here, okay? And it will crack. There. To me, that's comfortable. I like that. I think it's going to be good. And, of course, okay, I got that stuck in the middle there. There we go. Alright, so we did another function check, and that works. It's great. Okay, so, now let's get some of these screwdrivers out of our way here, off our work table. Now the next part, you know, you've got this piece here, and this floating handrail, which is really kind of cool. I'm going to bet that that's going to be it. And that goes on kind of like this. Now, like I said, guys, I'm kind of learning with you here. I'm learning as I go, which is kind of exciting. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's freaking sweet. Tell me that's not cool. I mean, I didn't think that you could make one of these look like that. That's pretty awesome. Okay, and what's this? And this is actually going to give us a lot better accuracy in general because we're going to have a better, it's going to go straight off of this as opposed to what it was before. I don't know, it was like some sort of a mall ninja mess that somebody had put together. I guess well, not somebody, I know exactly who did it, and I'm not really surprised. His gunsmithing skills are not that great. Just in case this goes over into a second video, I'm going to pause it and start again, just in case. So, okay, we're back again. Now, we're putting on the floating handrail here, okay? So, I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'm going to stand up and check my camera. Yes, you can. Okay, there's 2 screws that come in this kit for this, specifically. I'm sure that it's for them. These 2 right here. Now, I'm going to try to find in my little Husky kit here something that's going to fit in there. See that? No, that doesn't work. Show this. That's damn close. I really don't want to have to use an Allen wrench all the way in with it because it's going to be so annoying. And if it does, I'll do like a little Benny Hill fast thing on that part of it. But I want to take you guys through this step by step because when I did the trigger kit for the Smith & Wesson SD40VE, I got a lot of flack because I did the whole thing quickly, which I understand. You know, it doesn't really help anybody if I do it that way. But, you know, I just really didn't have... Now look, this came out of a cheap HDX kit from Home Depot, and this will work just fine. Of course, making it go on there is going to be different. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to have to use the little tool, the little doodad from this kit in order to do that. So let me pull that out. But anyway, I caught a lot of flack about that. Why didn't you, do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, because I had a lot of crap going on. And, it took me 30 minutes to do it. I'm not the quickest, I've never claimed to be the quickest. So, we're going to go back here. And this is fitting together really well with this joint. So, I'm going to put it in there. I'll get started. And there we go. Look at that. Let me give you some more light here. I don't want to block the damn camera out here, but these screws go into here like this. And I tell you what, I've got an extra little piece here with this HDX kit, which is pretty awesome. Let me go ahead and get that on out. And I think this is going to let me flex around the corners I need to flex around. Okay. We're going to use that one. I'm going to put this back in here. Oh, look at that. It's nice. And this is going to go into there, I'm assuming. I've not used this piece before. This is kind of odd. It's got some sort of weird little... Okay, I guess that's just because it's cheap and it's going to break. Alright. So let's put this back on there. See, that's where the money's at, right there. And I'll tighten this up with a hex key. I just didn't want to follow it all the way in with it. And you're saying, oh, DIY guy, XD. Why didn't you just go out and get the right tools? Well, because you know what? I spend all kinds of money on this kind of crap. Alright. Since I'm not a big believer in putting too much torsion on one side, I'm going to do this on the other side. So, put this in here. Get it started. Like so. And put that on there. You guys would not believe some of the stuff I've seen. I bought this... Okay, I'm just going to come out with it. The guy he's a cousin, I guess a cousin-in-law, I don't know, I guess. Anyway, selling all his guns, and my uncle's trying to help him out, which is fine. But I think this kid did a really bad thing with this. I think he really tried to smith a lot of stuff that he really shouldn't have tried to smith. And I'm not smithing right now. I'm doing some upgrading. I mean, some people might consider this gunsmith work, but I mean, if they get paid to do this kind of stuff, which I'm sure they do, my hat's off to them because it's not that hard, But it's got to be precise. And you hear that sound, that polymer sound. I'm not going to go too hard with this. I really can't go too hard with this because this is a cheap little tool. But anyway, my cousin-in-law, he got into some money trouble, which happens to a lot of us, and he owned up to it. See, that's tight as that's going to let that tool get. That happens to a lot of us, and it sucks. But what come to find out, really wasn't money trouble after I had talked to my uncle about it. What it was is he wanted a new car, and it wasn't a new car. He wanted a new truck or something. I don't know which is fine, but he doesn't use it for work or anything. It would just be just a cool truck, I guess, for him to motor around town in. And so he was selling all his guns to do that. Well, my uncle was basically doing a pawn service for him, giving him the money for the guns and hanging on to them, and then he'd sell them back to him later, which, I wish somebody would do that for me. But I've had to sell some stuff before in the past that'd make you cry if I told you about it, but I'm not going to. Maybe I'll save that for another video. I'm really hoping I find one in here that actually fits this. I should have actually done that beforehand, but that's okay. I found it. Okay, it's this one. Anyway, I've had to sell a lot of stuff that would make you cry, but so this kid, he's a little bit older than me, I guess, and it's just kind of scary to think about. He's not that old. Wanted to have this truck, and so they're doing a pawn service for him. Well, my aunt, yeah, she didn't want him to sell his guns, but because he spent so much money on them, she knew he spent hundreds and thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of dollars on all his guns. So my uncle was holding on to him for him and giving him the money, and then they were going to sell him back to him later, which I suspect what they were probably going to do was just give it to him. Well, my uncle got fed up with it after he saw how the kid was doing. It really wasn't for money, it was for a truck. So when he found out about that, he's like, oh no, I'm not doing this. He offered, he gave him the chance to buy his guns back. He didn't want to, so I got this. My uncle went through this one and said it was functional and fine, which it is, but it's a lot more worn out than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was, well, it doesn't matter. I paid for the red dot that came with it, the old rails that came with it, the upgraded springs and stuff and all that kind of crap. I paid like $350 for it, which I didn't think it was that bad for family. Now you notice I'm going in between these two, 1 and 2. Now that I think back about it, since you can buy one of these Rugers for about $209, I would have given him probably $250 for it. But anyway, I can't go back. This is polymer, so I'm not going to do too much more on it. I'm just going to put a little bit more on it. Watch me do this here. I appreciate you guys watching too. I know that some of these videos may not be as helpful as you want them to be, but I'm going to try. And I'm trying to show you how easy it is to make your 22 look really freaking awesome. So look at this guy now. I mean, good God, that's pretty freaking awesome there. Okay, so one thing I am noticing with this is that the fitment on it is a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. It's not quite as tight as I thought it was going to be in some places, but that's okay. Alright, so I think this goes on next, and I'm going to look at the screws in the butt on the top. It's going to go like this. See how those screw holes, 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah, it's going to go like that. It goes on like that. And that should snap in. I thought it would at least. That tells me I'm too tight on the bottom. I sit here and I ran my mouth until I made them too tight on the bottom. Let me loosen those up a bit. Sorry guys. Like I said, just kind of learning as I go here with you. So the screws that went into the front of this thing, I'm loosening them up just slightly, and I'll probably tighten the whole thing up. That's what I should have done to begin with, just wait and tighten the whole thing up at one time. This is my first conversion kit, so I've done work on a lot of 1911 stuff, which I'm gonna be bringing videos out on that stuff soon. Okay, so point is, I'm getting this kit here. I'm loosening these up, and this is when again the screwdriver with the hex key on it or whatever would be a lot simpler and a lot easier for me, but I don't have that right now. I got that little cheap flimsy deal. Okay, That's kind of loosened up a little bit. Now look, okay, this is important. I don't know if I can show you this. I'm going to try. See, that's got a little bit of play there. All right. I'm going to suck that up, that little play. And I'm going to match these up and put it on there. And that, my friends, is a much tighter group. Something tells me I'm going to be using these screws. Oh, and I am. Look at that. Okay. So, my same hex key fits it. I'm just going to go on down with it. I bought a bull barrel for, not a bull barrel, but I bought a shroud for this thing. I'm just going to start these with my hands. It's going to be a lot easier. There we go. I bought a shroud for it, but it required pounding the hell out of the front of this barrel, and honestly, I don't want to spend any more time, or excuse me, any more money on this kit, because this is just a 22. I'm not saying 20. There's anything wrong with 22. I've got thousands of rounds for 22. So I mean, it's an excellent hunting thing. It's an excellent plinking, and you know, it can be good for defense too. I mean, you know, if you well placed shots, I don't care how small they are. These guys like, oh, you got to have a 9mm. Oh, you got to have a 40. You don't have to have that. If you know how to shoot, and you know where to hit these people at, they're done. They're finished. It's over with. Okay, so I'm gonna make these not super duper tight like I did the other ones, but pretty tight. Because again, this is polymer, and you know, I don't want to crack it, I don't want to break it, and I don't want to put a lot of stress on it. Because even if, okay, here's another tip: you can tighten stuff up pretty tight, and if you do it too tight, it may not affect it right away, but it'll create micro fractures in it. And before you know it, guess what? You take this thing out on a cold day, and you go to fire it. I'm tightening these up now too. You go out on a cold day to fire this thing, and guess what? It cracks and falls apart. And you know, you're the asshole that's sitting there with the with a firing control group and a barrel on it, and that's it. And that's done. So anyway, I'm going to have a more professional setup in here, I promise. Right now, there's just a lot of stuff going on in my life, and it's making it very hard for me to do this kind of stuff on a regular basis. So I'm going to tighten these screws up, and once I do, we're going to move on to the next section, which I'm going to have to think about, because it looks, the bayonet and all that stuff, it looks a little bit more involved. And I'll show you the bull barrel if you guys want to see it. And I'm still tightening this thing up. You know, this is where, you know, you say, oh, DIY guy XD, why didn't you just, you know, buy the right screwdriver? Well, maybe I will for the next time. Because I'm going to continue to do this stuff. I'm going to have some of these, especially with the AR stuff. It's just a pain in the butt right now. I thought I had a bunch of these, but I don't. Alright, we're almost there. And I'll probably do maybe a, like I said, a Benny Hill thing for this. That's pretty tight right there. Let me get this one in there. Now, when I make it tight on one side, it can loosen a little on the other because it's not evenly pressured. That's one. I'm going to put 3 of them on there. Let's see how that holds up. And I'm probably going to have to split this video series into a couple different videos because of just the... Why won't that go in there? There we go. Okay, that's pretty tight. Let's do one more on here. Because it's going to go so long. I may have to put it into 2. I've seen this done in 6 minutes. Or not seen it, but I heard of it being done in 6 minutes from when I did some research on this kit. And yeah, that's the pin in it. And I'm going to function check that. Oh yeah, that doesn't matter anyway because it's not part of it. Okay. I know that having this seat, having it, I didn't super duper tighten it, but I did tighten it to a degree. Okay. So here it is so far. And that's the magazine release right there. That's all good. And It's a little bit short for me. Not going to buffer too bad. Boom, 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 boom. It's pretty awesome, guys. Pretty awesome. Alright. Now, the last part of this kit is right here. And I really don't that's for that. Okay. Yeah, that's supposed to go at the bottom there. Alright. I'm just kind of looking at everything and seeing what's what with everything. Okay. Alright. So this, I'm assuming, is just going to go on the end here. Of course, it would go more like this, but I bet you're going to have to turn it and key it in. And no, it actually goes just like that. Wow. That's not as attractive as I thought it was going to be. It's fine, but it's not really what I was hoping for. Oh, that other part's for the bayonet, which I may or may not put on yet. I'm not decided. So really, I mean, you've got this section right here that slips on there, and then you've got, well, that does have a nice little part onto it. So that goes right to there. And that would be like that. And something tells me that goes on and off just way too easy. I don't like that. And it makes the barrel really long. I would have thought that this would have went all the way down, and I think it does. I just don't think I'm pressed on hard enough. So let me not stab myself in the eye with a plastic knife. Take this stupid thing off of here. Bear with me. It should go on the same way it came off, but of course it's not going to, because it's gonna be whatever. Alright. I would have liked to have the bull barrel on there, but you know what you would have liked to have and what you're gonna have. Okay, it's these two little things right there, these two little prongs that let the bayonet loose. Alright, so I'm gonna say that this is gonna go on there like this, and I bet you have to, yep, you just kind of hit it on there. Now, I'm going to say that you could probably use, I'm going to use a little hammer action. And, you know, I'm going to take a little cloth here. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to bring it, see, look, okay? And I'm just going to hit it. And did you hear that positive sound? That boop, 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 boop. That went on there positively. Okay, so that's that. That's set in place. And there's a little spot for a pin to go through. And I don't know how necessary that is, but we're going to try that. Okay. As you see, it's like this now. So let's find a little punch here, tiny little punch. I'm gonna go over here to my little punches and see if that will actually match up, and that does. That does match up. I don't think that this pin is even needed. I think it's kind of silly because you saw how hard I had hit in order to get that thing down there. Wow. That may just go in the one. No, it goes on both sides. See how I'm using my hammer here and my little screwdriver? Isn't that nice? I'm trying to get that to set proud on the other side, and I don't understand why it won't. That's when you should probably read your instructions. You know, that's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna flip this thing over and see what's going on this other side. It's starting to come through, and it's just, I think it's just where the polymer, I should have probably cleaned it out first, but now I'm in this, you know, dollar for nuts, or whatever you want to say. I'm in it to finish it. And where this thing sits, like that, I don't think I even need that, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put that punch right on there, like that. hoping you guys can see a little bit of this. I know there's a lot of shadowing in here. And I'm going to take this, I'm just going to wrap it a couple times. Small wraps. There we go. That was one last big wrap. Okay. So the pen's through there. It's sitting. See all that crud on the other side? That's from I guess the extruding process when they make these things. But now it's sitting semi-proud. Let me go ahead and just tap that thing one more time. Big hammer. Boom. In. Okay. So folks, that's the kit. There's no sense in doing a review on it because, well, I mean, I'll take it out and I'll shoot it and I'll do a review of that way if you want me to. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Check it out, guys. Look at that. All right, there she is. And the one thing that I don't like is making a rattling noise. I'm gonna take it apart again. Is that little piece in there? But see. One of the main reasons why you don't want to make this thing super duper tight is because, guess what? You have to take it apart to clean it. And that means taking this off, that means taking this off, and stuff like that, which is not a big deal, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make these a little bit loose than what they were. There we go. There we go. These I'm going to leave alone, I think, because this is where the rail stuff's going to go at. Alright, you know, wish there was an easier way to clean this thing. My overall impression is strong. I like this. There's a little bit of a gap here, and everything's pushed down. I don't think that that's my fault. I think it's just the way the kit works. I mean, you can't expect this thing to be exactly 100% perfect, but I will say that this is much better than the original. So this is DIY Guy. Okay, this is the last section of the video for all you guys that stuck with me. Take a look at this beauty. There she is with the clip in there. I'm going to get one that's less banana clippish. Now, this is the old stock. These are all the old parts. Of course, I will keep the red dot, and I'll keep that. But these rails and things are going to go into storage. There's another magazine. I'll keep that. But I'll probably put the stuff in storage, and I might build another one of these. If I can get the firing control group and just a regular barrel without anything on it. Might build another rifle just to throw in the back of my car, you know, whatever. Anyway, thanks for sticking around with me. DIY Guy XD signing off for the ArchAngel 556 project. Looks freaking awesome.